Nothing gained.
Alright, hello. I am going to try to do this again. I just recorded like 30 minutes and because we keep having outages, I lost all the footage. So I'm gonna try this again. Hopefully this doesn't happen. I'm gonna try to go a little quicker because it took me 30 minutes and I was barely like maybe around 10 minutes into the game, and I see this is a kind of longer game, so I'm gonna try to get this again. I did explain a team concept first, but I honestly don't want to have to do it again because I spent a good 7 minutes explaining it. So I'll just try to talk about it midway as we get into the game. So besides fight mauga into Ram, it's a weird matchup. I think it's pretty even. Like, if you engage in the Ram when he doesn't have his form, he explodes. If you miss your slam on him, then you explode. It's pretty simple to understand. Just really depends on your guys' timing and when you want to look for an engagement. So off the bat, I think that you don't really need to pop your shift just to get around there. You can literally just walk up to the enemy instead of having to burn your shift. Because you're kind of delaying your engagement. Like, it's not bad to use shift for rotations, but it's like, do you really need to use it for that short of a distance? Like, you could just walk across. Not like you're gonna die, right? You're playing mauga, you're freaking super tank, you got 700 HP. Okay, and then this, I remember I talked about this earlier, so this could have been a good engagement because if you see before, I should have mentioned this before. So, see here, she just does that in your face. She has no abilities, which means it's your time to shine. You can walk. Whenever you see someone waste abilities like that, especially if it's a DPS, it's your chance to walk, which you do end up doing. Now, the issue I have is that you don't decide who you want to go on. Either you choose to go on a Ram, or you're going to choose to go on a Mizuki. You kind of just went in the middle of them. And this slam is not really doing much, right? Like, yeah, you're in now, but you didn't hit anybody with the slam. So it doesn't really get you a lot of value. Because of that, you're going to take a ton of damage, which might delay your engagement. Like, you need to either slam actually near the target and make them take damage from the slam. You don't have to full on hit them, but at least get some damage in so you can start fighting. Because if you slam like this, well, one, by the time you get up, you're not looking at a target, which is going to be bad because that time that you spend not looking at the target by the time you get back up could be the difference between you getting the kill and you not getting the kill. All these little things kind of matters, so you really want to make sure you're actually hitting your engages on mauga. Then you see, because of the way the engagement was and how awkward it was, and you had to burn your E early to tank the damage, then you kind of have to give up some space. Don't get me wrong, you're going to sustain off of him because he's nated, and you know, Ana's able to heal you, and they can't really like kill you here, but it's just kind of unfortunate because you had the advantage, but you kind of threw it away because you don't pick a target that you like wanted to actually commit on. Like, committing on a Mizuki was finer if you wanted to go for it. Like, yeah, you're in the open, but you had your E up, so it's not like you're gonna die for it. Same with the Ram. Been there, right? It's like you're popping your abilities when you don't have to. Like, you don't need to pop your stomp just to get around all the time. Like, it's okay to walk. You need to save your abilities for when you actually want to make something happen on the map. Don't just mindlessly pop your abilities just because you have it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fine to rotate with your stomp if you have to, right? But you're in the position there where you have cover, you have sight lines. His team is played a little far back. Like, he only has this Mizuki for follow-up, and it's not like Mizuki's going to be able to one-shot you. So you don't really need to just burn that. Plus, you just gotta pick on the on-run. So because you gotta pick on on-run, you should try to push just immediately. You don't want to full commit, but just look for something. Start taking the space slowly. And then by the time you get around this corner here, then you can look for something. Look for a slam. Look to walk on someone with E. Because you don't always have to slam engage on mauga, right? You can just look to just walk at someone and pressure them with your guns. Because people will respect the fire damage. It's not like you have to hit the slam just to get a kill. Yeah, you kind of make a mistake. You're like full send it in a position where even if you do hit the slam, right? It's very easy for them to turn on you. Why? So I want you to imagine if you did hit the slam on this Mizuki here, right? You are out of the LOS of your own team, and they have full sightlines on you. Everybody's looking that direction right now. So all the pressure's on you. So look at what happens now, right? You end up exploding. And it's because the way you engage, right? Like you want to isolate the target, but you need to be aware of where the enemy is also playing, like the rest of their team. The play would have been fine if their team was playing like here or something, you know? Like you have to factor these things in when you're engaging. Because you kind of just exploded and you had an advantage in that fight.
Pay attention or you'll wind up dead.
So they end up turning off of that. Which is okay, I mean it happens.
Take this.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Okay. And then I remember I talked about this earlier too. So this is a small mistake. I don't think it's the biggest deal in the world, but I have an issue when tanks don't try to peel the rest of their team. Obviously there's positions where you can't help your teammates. Like maybe you might have not been able to save this Ana, but it's still good for you to try, right? Like you should just try to walk to her. You kind of hesitate and you just hold the corner and you don't peek this. But you're playing a tank, you're full HP, you have your abilities up, you have nothing to lose here, right? Like worst case scenario, your Ana just dies and you're able to get out. So what you should try to do here is walk up to your Ana and try to be in E range so that you can pop E so she can try to live. I mean, like I said, it's not a big deal because she's probably dead either way. And even if you did hit the E, she probably wouldn't have lived. But it's the thought that counts, right? Like, you should always try to help your team no matter what. Because you're the tank. Kind of your job to soak up the damage for your team. Okay, so you're down 2. Playing corner. Okay, and then here's another problem, right? Like, it's okay to hold this, but you have to know when to give it up. Like, you're down 2 right now, so obviously they're gonna force you out. And because you know that, at some point you just gotta give up the space. If you don't have numbers in the fight, and it's no longer in a neutral phase, you have to give the enemy space. You can't just greet it all the time. There's nothing wrong with greeting space, but sometimes you have to respect the enemy. This is one of those scenarios. You are down 2 players. There's no way you're gonna live if you hold this. Like, it would have been better for you to just play here, because by the time your Ana gets back, right, she has better sightlines on you, like, immediately if you're playing her. I mean, this is also fine. It's just that you're more exposed to damage this way, so it's going to be hard for her to keep you up. And you'll see what I'm talking about. Like this. Everybody's looking at you now. Everybody's looking at you. You have 4 people looking at you. Your team is not pushed up yet. You know, you have to think about those things. There's nothing wrong with, like, holding this spot here, but you have to know when to give it up. And you get lucky and live because they can't aim. Like, let's be real. If they could aim, you die for this. Because you got naded and you're low HP. Like, you should die for that. But you see what I'm talking about, right? Like, you can greet the space, but you have to factor in, like, the enemy enemy positioning and your team's positioning. Now, it's kind of hard for tank players to recognize where their team is playing. That's okay. You're not going to always know where your team is at as a tank player. It happens. But as you play, you'll get used to where your teammates are playing. And also, if you have an issue with that, you can just simply look back at them. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, and then there. So, I don't know. I'm like mixed thoughts on this engage. I don't know if you knew if your Ana had nano or not. If you guys coordinated that, it's fine. If you didn't, I think this is a little dangerous because, like, if she's a good Ana, she'll just sleep and nade you for doing that. And then you just explode. But I mean, you got the engagement off. Like, this only works because you hit the slam. If you didn't hit the slam, you just die for this. Like, you can't make plays like this that have low probability of you actually winning. Like, this is a low probability engagement. You can't guarantee that you're gonna hit the enemy here. It just happened that you got it off. I don't know if that makes sense. Here, right? You start poking. You engage on the Sierra, but you don't know if she has her drone out behind her somewhere or not. Like, she could have easily just had her drone here to retreat. It's just very dangerous for you to do something like that. But, hey, it worked. But you see how much damage you took initially, right? Like, you lost 300 health in like a second. So if this Ana naded you, you would have just died. Provided you didn't get nanoed. But yeah, she had, I guess she must have used her nade earlier, so she has it a bit late. But if she timed that earlier, you might have just died before the nano even went off. It's a good slam on the ram. I'm not sure why your team is not walking with you here, though. I'm pretty sure they have plenty of time to walk with you here. I'm not really sure why. I guess because they were killing the other two. I guess. Okay, this is crazy. Like, you have numbers, but you gotta think about their ults, right? This shouldn't be turnable for them, so I can understand why you make this kind of play. Like, it shouldn't be turnable for them. You have your ult coming up soon, but it's a nano ram. You have to factor that in when you're engaging. Remember what I said before, right? When you engage like this, if you're gonna go in that hard, you have to make sure you're hitting your abilities. If you can't guarantee that you're gonna hit something when you engage like this, you're gonna explode. Like, Ana is not a character that you just can freely jump around and just do whatever you want. You kind of have to respect her abilities as a tank player. That's why she's so annoying to deal with. Because she kind of limits how you play the game in a way. Like, with other supports, you can afford to just go in whenever you want. But Ana, you have to respect Sleep Dart and Nade. Because her abilities are so strong and they delete you so badly as a tank. It's kind of hard for you to just walk in for free. Like, if this was any other support in the game, I would respect this play. But it's Ana, so it's like, you can't just do that. And other mistake too, right? You don't shoot the ram. I understand why you're shooting the Ana here, but you have to shoot the ram to live. Look at your health bar. Like, this guy is gonna throw with this play. If they're able to kite this out, and then you are probably like 100% dead now, because they should be able to just kill you here. And the mistake was that you don't shoot the ram. You have to shoot the ram here so you can sustain. Like, you shoot Ana instead, and obviously Ana's a lot harder to hit. She has a smaller hitbox. Of course, it would be hard for you to get the kill, right? And had you shoot the ram, you would have had a better chance of living, and you would stop him from turning on your team. But he's in too deep. He got the 2 picks. It's already over. Or the 1 pick, I guess. And even though your team is getting picks, you died before he did, and also they're on defense, so it's gonna be a little harder for you to just go in immediately because they have better map. Because on defense, generally speaking, you have the high ground advantage, so it's kind of hard for the attackers to just push you off the bat, even if you do have numbers advantage or something.
Still not dead.
I mean, your DPS run, they end up getting picks, which is good. And if they die for it, it's okay. You can still push. Okay, so now it should just be clean up. And then the other issue here, right? Remember what I said earlier. Don't pop your abilities if you don't have any intention behind it. I look here. You're popping your E on mauga and you're full HP. What do you need this extra health for? This is a 1 HP target. You already hit your slam on the enemy. You don't need to pop your E. And now look at what happens next. Because I watched this earlier. And you end up dying here. And it's because you don't have your E. Like, this kind of stuff really matters the higher you go. You can't just pop your abilities just because. There always has to be an intention behind it. So you don't have your E. And you end up getting deleted because your team's not there. And you probably could have turned this, to be honest, if you just didn't pop your E. Like, you probably could have sustained both of these two in the cage if you had your E and you could just hit your shots. But because you don't have E, they just blow you up for it. Like, this kind of stuff is really important. Like, managing your cooldowns. Because it'll literally ruin your entire engagement if you just misplay.
Finally, things are getting interesting.
Okay, I like this. I like this a lot. This is great. This is great. So you see your DPS pops in ulti and you look for an engagement. That's amazing. I like this play a lot. But you make the same mistake again. You pop your E. You're full HP. Stop doing that. Like, only pop it when you actually start taking damage. You didn't really take damage yet. You want that immediate, because remember, right? It gives you the overhealth. You don't really want to have overhealth at full HP because it's not really doing much. Like, you're already full HP. It's a waste of overhealth. You get value from overhealth when you're actually getting low. Or taking damage, I should say. If you're full HP, you're not taking damage, right? Another slam on that guy. She cannot make that play. She just threw the whole game. So you should be able to win. Honor just used her nades. You gotta look to go quickly. This is good by you. I think that you could have like slightly backed up. I would have just backed up immediately after you hit the slam, just to bait the sleep out. But I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a very minor thing. It's a very minor thing. This is really good. You're just zoning the entire team off so that they can't help this guy. That's very good. I like this a lot. Very nice. Very nice. And she burned an ulti. So they should just lose this no matter what. Yeah. Very nice play by you. Now it's just clean up. They just lose. You can start walking. You don't have to take the. You don't have to stay pulling with your team. Like, Ram already died. They're not going to be able to turn this. It's impossible. But I mean, I also don't blame you because in Diamond, a lot of people don't really push when they're supposed to. Like, they should already know that they can't touch, and they should be taking space with you, so I kind of don't blame you for not doing it. But you have the tools, because you're a tank, right? You can afford to just walk up for free. Like, it's not, like I said, it's not like people can one-shot you on tank. That's the best part about being a tank. You can never get one-shot, unless you severely misplay. Okay, so she just wasted nade. You can look for something new. Okay, you're trying to work your way through, that's fine. But yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. You don't have to be so quick with your engages. Like, what you're doing here is fine. You're slowly taking the space. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you don't have to just bum rush and go in with your stone. Because if you do that all the time, then you're just going to explode. Unless you're guaranteed hitting slams. Wow, I'm not gonna lie to you, that was an insane reaction. That was actually an insane reaction. Nice play, dude. So you get a free pick. Ram is out of position. This is just clean up. Yeah, this is clean up. That guy crazy. Not sure why we popped Juno. It's unnecessary. Yeah, you can just chase the rest of the kills. Then I'm hoping that you take high ground after this. And then you just zone the ram off from taking it. Big mistake. Big mistake. I'm not gonna say anything yet. Let me see if you decide to take it later on. Okay. So this mistake, you don't actually have to go high ground, I guess. I mean, I would recommend it because if you slam off high ground, it's kind of hard for them to do anything about that. Like they really cannot interrupt that. But also, the other thing too, right? You want to just zone them off so that the enemy DPS can never take this high ground. Because if you play this with your DPS, it's going to be really hard for the Sierra to contest the enemy DPS while you're up there. Also, you just get more sightlines on the map, which is good for your DPS. Because remember, right? You're playing poke DPS, or not even poke DPS. You got one sustain and one poke, and sustain damage and poke damage love having high ground like this because it just means that they can be 10 times more annoying. So it's really good for you to take the high ground there. But this isn't bad either. It's just if you're gonna do this, you need to be taking the space way more aggressively. Like here, right? The moment you won this fight, you could have already walked up here. You don't need to be up here by the time the ram is out. You are losing space on the... Remember, you're losing map control by doing that. You need to be going immediately.
Greetings.
Every second that you waste of you not pushing up on the enemy is you losing map control. And map control is probably the most important thing to consider when you're playing tank. If you control the map more than the enemy tank, how are they going to win the game? They have to work for it. You don't, which means it's a lot easier for you to engage and do what you want to do. But you see, you don't take the space, so the ram just ends up walking for free. I mean, this ult is fine, but like I say, if you take the space, you might not even have to do this. This is why it's really important to take space in this game, because it makes it so that you don't have to force a play. Don't get me wrong, this is a great play by you. Do I think that you have to go for it though? No, but it's not a bad play. Like I won't get it twisted, you know.
What happened? Talk to your advisor.
Now it's just
That's what you call style and substance.
See, like there, that's appropriate to pop your E, but you should have committed to the engagement. You should have just committed to it. Like, you forced an ulti out, I would have just kept on shooting at the Mizuki here, but you kind of gave it up. So because you did that, they might end up turning this because you just gave up that pressure on the Mizuki now. You end up getting nano. It's cool. Should win off of that though. I I would cancel. I would just cancel the slam there. Make sure that you can track the honor as soon as possible. Like if you know that you're not gonna hit the slam, just cancel it. You end up getting the point. They're wasting ult. It's fine. That is daggers for you. This is fine. Now you can take some more space. Okay, here. Big mistake. Big mistake. You don't know where the rest of his team is at. Don't commit to a slam like that. If you don't know where the enemy team is playing, you can't just commit to an engagement. Even if you do have a pick. You can only do that if you have maybe like 2 or 3 picks. But when you only have one, you can't just blindly commit to an engagement like that. Because if she throws a nade at you, you are going to explode. You're already 1 HP. And you gotta factor in the enemy sightlines, right? Obviously, you didn't know the rest of his team is there. But looking from their POV, right? They're all looking in the same direction. So you're gonna take a bajillion damage. You have to factor these things in. You're able to get out in time, which is great. But it's just a very risky engagement. You keep doing the same mistake I've noticed on mauga. You just pop your E so early. And you're popping it when you're not actually taking damage yet. You need to be using it when you're actively taking damage. So that way you actually get value out the ability. Popping your cardiac on mauga at full HP is not going to do anything for you. Don't get me wrong. It helps you avoid initial damage. But why even use damage reduction on the initial damage when there's nothing that no damage for you to even block? You get what I'm saying? It's not really doing anything for you. It's like popping a Zarya bubble at full HP and nobody shoots it. It's not doing anything for you. And you see how much more annoying it is? Like, you're kind of hesitant to go in because you want to wait for your E. And if you just saved it, then you could play more aggressive here. That's the nice thing about Ram. He's very easy for you to just sustain all your health back to full. Which is another thing you should think about in the matchup. If you're playing mauga v Ram, you can just feel free to shoot this guy whenever you want. If you need a regen, just shoot at Ram. He's such an easy target for you to hit and crit headshot. And obviously your crits will heal you a ton. So, I mean, if you just want to get your health back immediately, you can just start shooting this guy. Especially when he's in Nemesis form, because you just delete him and he has to block most of the time. Man, you see like why this works, right? Like why you're allowed to go for this kind of slam. He's 1 HP. He just uses Nemesis form. You don't really lose anything. Even if you get slept here, it doesn't matter. But you also make the same mistake of you popping your cardiac again. Stop popping your cardiac when you don't need to. You haven't even taken damage yet. You keep wasting your cardiac and it makes your engagements a little slower. You need to be popping it when you're mid-fight. Yeah, just clean up that. They're on orisa now. I think orisa into mauga. I think orisa does win, but it really depends on how good the orisa player is. Like, if she's good at holding her shift for a really long time, you will never be able to kill her. if you ever force her shift out early though, then you kind of just delete Orisa. So it's a weird matchup. I think Orisa does win, but she has to be very smart on her shift usage. I will say though, if you pop K's, or you kind of just delete her every time. Like she can't live it ever.
What's up?
Okay. Wait, this is a lot better. This is a lot better. Pop your E when you're actually taking damage, so you can live.
You chose.
You see how you just live that? Now imagine if you popped your E immediately. You would die for that. You would 1000% die for that. This is why you need to pop your abilities when you actually take damage. That's the whole point of your survivability tools. Okay, you get 2 picks and just clean up at this point. Okay, it's a good stagger. Okay, you see there on May. I like that you respect it. You don't try to greet the space. That's really good. Most of the time people try to greet this, even after they see the May. But I like that you respect it. Like, yeah, you got the pick and all, but if you get walled, then you just explode. Maybe not actually, because they're not running on anymore. So I mean, you really could hold the space. Like, as long as you have your E up, I don't think anybody could one-shot you. They don't really have like a ton of damage with their team comp. Like, they're running Mei, Mizuki. I mean, Alari and Amron are good damage, but they're both, no, I would say Amron and Mei are very inconsistent. Same with Mizuki. Like, the damage output is not that high on their team comp. Or at least it's not consistent enough for it to be quote-unquote high. So I mean, you don't really have to worry about frontlining for too long. Like, you could really just sit in the front line forever. Okay, so this is a mistake. You give him too much space right now. You need to be walking up and just poking. As long as you don't pass this invisible line right here, you're okay. Mei cannot look for a good wall here. And you don't want to be giving it space because... You see, I'm pretty sure your soldier was hype. Maybe I might be wrong. Yeah, he's hype. He ends up getting pressured off because you are not holding the space for him. Like, you need to be the distraction for him so he can keep his high ground control. And he ends up giving it, so now they're gonna be able to walk off that. I mean, it's cool that you step up later, but you should have been doing it the whole time. Okay. This is a crazy mistake. I just talked about the line, right? Against a Mei, you need to know where the lines are at. You are not allowed to cross this line unless you have a pick. If you cross this line and they're on Mei, you will die. Now, you got lucky, to be honest with you. Like, the entire team should have just turned on you in this wall. And I'm kind of surprised your team didn't shoot the wall that fast. Like, they really let you sit in there for quite a decent amount of time. Like, that should have been enough to kill you. But luckily, the Orisa, she got giga pressured and she doesn't notice that you're walled off until it was too late. So you end up living because of that. But make sure you don't cross the invisible line, because that could have been a death. Burning over for it, it's okay. Alright. So first problem, you don't cancel your slam. You need to get used to canceling your slam. Like if you don't have any intention of hitting the enemy, just cancel it. It's always better for you to cancel it, unless you know you're gonna actually hit something with it. Cause then you can shoot faster. Now the E onto the orisa is fine. You can sustain, like I said, you can sustain all your health back off her. That's fine. I still would have started to kite away, mainly because they're burning so much ults. I don't know if you were thinking about Blizz, but that's something you also have to factor in. You should always be thinking about the enemy's ults. And either way, you're already in a losing spot. I would have kited towards the left side so that you can divert attention away from your team. Like, you going this way makes it easier for them to look at your team. Obviously, this fight is already probably lost. But if you kite this way, I mean, this is a mistake. This guy should be kiting the other way. But you want to kite this way so that the aggro can be pulled away from the point. Because remember, it's an objective-based game. The longer you can deny them the point, the better. Because you're on defense. Also, you just would have had a better chance of kiting the Mayo. But let me. I think that you could have. Yeah, you could have gotten out of the Mayo too. I'm pretty sure if you just walked behind the wall. I don't think the Blizz would have caught on to you from that angle. But I mean, I could be wrong. I have to actually be in the game to see. Okay, you guys end up losing. I mean, they burned 2 ults. You got caught out by
Okay,
Paywall.
let's take things up a notch.
You have Cage for next fight. They don't have anything for Cage. So it's free kills for you. I would have popped E for carry. I would have just done it immediately. Like, it's okay to pop your abilities to peel for your teammates, you know? Oh, okay, it happens. I wouldn't give this up though. I would have tried to shoot that wall and still push forward. Cause let's say, yeah, you don't get the greatest value with the mauga, right? But it's still a shield. It's a big old shield for you. I mean, you could just melt the wall and still shoot at the enemy and get pressure off of that. Like, I wouldn't have tried to walk around. But you do it kind of late. Also, my other complaint, and no, I guess you could hold this. Never mind. This is not a bad spot to play at. I guess because I'm more greedy, I would have tried to hold over here. Divert attention. But I mean, it's fine that you're holding that. I guess you denied them from getting height from playing there. Only thing that sucks is that when they start pushing a point, then you're going to have to rotate for that eventually. Which is what's happening right now.
Come here. I can heal you.
Yeah, you see, you pop your E when you just really don't need to. Like, I think your biggest mistake so far is your cooldown management. You kind of waste your abilities, and I think it delays your engagements a lot because you don't have your abilities to go in all the time. And also, it just makes you less survivable. Keep walking. Keep walking. And then you kind of hesitated on where you want to go. Just pick an angle, commit to it. You already have picks on the map. Just do something to force them out all the way, and maybe you could look for another stagger. You don't have to hesitate, or you shouldn't hesitate. Just kill her after gold. Just kill her after gold. Look for slime. You can keep going. Let's see. Hey, mistake, mistake. Big mistake, big mistake. You just killed their tank. You have ability zone. Don't give any space for free. You can zone these guys off. Worst case scenario, Mei tries to blizz you, solo blizz you. You can shoot the wall, and then just slam out at the last second. You'll be good. But you don't want to give all this space. But you see, because you don't walk on the two supports that were sitting here main, they're allowed to go high ground, and then they end up just walking on your team. And don't get me wrong, you guys get a pick still, but it's just like you're giving them too much space to work with, and they don't have numbers. You don't want to be doing that, because what you're doing, right, is you're giving them a chance to turn the fight around. You see, like, your timing is just off here. If you had simply just walked in their backline when you had the staggers, they never get this high ground control. Or if they do, at least the two people that were up here, they just die for it. Like, the arm run ends up dying, right? And then the Mei wouldn't be able to push this without a support. She's not going to be able to beat the Ashe at this range to hit scan. She just doesn't win that. Even though she has no fall off, she does not win that. And if you were on height, then you could collapse on the Mei and force her off. So you see, like, the stuff, it like piles up. They end up turning this fight because you don't get the high ground. Or not even just the high ground, because you don't zone the supports off of main. They're just getting too much space for free. Maybe controversial, but I would have just stopped looking at Mei here and look for something else. Like, you heard people under you, I would have tried to collapse on them, because you know Mei is not a likely kill for you unless you saw her pop cryo. But even then, she's so close to the edge of this, it's like you're probably not going to get the kill. Yeah, because you pop your slam and miss, she just takes advantage by ulting your team.
Get in there, Bob. Come here. I can heal you.
I like that you try to turn with the Bob. I think that's good. You guys even up the fight, so you should be able to fight this still. They pop Mizuki ult though, so you're gonna have to wait that out. Okay, you should be able to win this round. Let me see. Popping your E at full HP again. And now you don't have it for your teammates that are getting engaged on. That's not good. But you see how this stuff matters. You see how this stuff matters. You pop your E earlier, and your teammates die because of it. If you pop this later on, they have a better chance of living on your orisa. And just surviving the on run. But because you pop so early, they end up dying and you just lose the fight. Now you guys are staggering, so they might just take the point off of that. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna get the point. Unless someone wants to go for a last second touch. But I don't know how likely it is for you guys to win because they have Blizz. So it's like, I don't know. You can fight. I would fight it either way if you can touch just to get the Blizz out. It's good macro play for you to just go for that, but you're probably not going to win this fight. Okay, they don't let you touch. It's okay. You see, you also did the same thing again there, right? You popped your E and you didn't even go in yet. Stop wasting your E. You see the difference? You see the difference? You see the difference? When you pop your E there and you're actually taking damage, you get insane value. When you pop your E, when you're actually taking damage, it allows you to frontline longer. Imagine if you popped your E earlier there. You are dead. But because you held it off longer, you're able to turn on the Orisa for walking up. And now she has to give the space. You see what I'm talking about? That stuff matters a lot. Okay. This play is good only if they didn't have Blizz. I'm pretty sure you weren't thinking about Blizz. You have to factor that in when you're playing mauga. Mei is like one of the best mauga counters of all time because she just denies your ultimate so hard. So you need to be thinking about this because if she's a smart Mei player, she would have just blizzed you immediately for this. I wouldn't let you get away with this personally. I mean, you end up dying either way, so she doesn't even have to pop it. But you can't just go for a play like this, especially when you're going around a corner and then you're forcing your team to have to walk. Look at how far back they are. They cannot follow up on that.
Again! Till I say
Yeah, I'm trying to go a little quick. I'll stop pausing. Okay, you get a massive kick. Have to go in hard. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is good E usage. When you're actually in, you know, you're taking space. You want to use your survivability tools to get space. Not just for poking and neutral when you're not actually doing anything. Okay, keep going for staggers. You can keep walking this. Like, Orisa should not be allowed to walk up like this. Kill Orisa. Okay, you force her out. That's fine. Okay.
let's make a scene.
Slight mistake. You don't let your stomp go all the way. I would have let it go all the way so you can guarantee get out. Because it wasn't coming. You can turn off of this. Oh, they fucking just oh, they just wait. They had everyone in the game. Empty. I mean, you bought a lot of time. It's just unfortunate because your Geno died with ult, and had she popped there, I think you just turned that on your own. But unlucky. But yeah, like so far, your biggest issue is I don't think that I think you know how to take space, but it's just your cooldown management is kind of killing you. Like, it is quite literally killing you. Sometimes you'll just waste your cardiac, and because you wasted it, you don't have it to like hard engage, which makes it really hard for you to just commit to something. Okay, see, you're on Orisa now.
Ready for battle.
Okay, Orisa mirror, I mean, it's cool. It's the battle of whoever holds their shift the longest.
4, 3, 2, 1.
You see, do you take both? Okay, it's not showing it for some reason. If I were you, before the round starts, I would hold off taking the second perk. Like, you shouldn't take this immediately. The first two don't really matter that much, but I would hold off on taking it. Or maybe it's showing it. Did you hold off?
Incoming. Defend objective A.
Okay, I can't tell if it's showing it or not. I don't know if that's a bug. But if it is you holding off, then good on you. See what I mean? It's the same thing again. You see 3 people and you just pop your shift immediately, and you haven't even taken the damage yet. Stop using your survivability tool so early when you're not actually taking damage. You use your survivability tool to take space or to live. That's it. But there's no space for you to be taken here because you don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just poke and be annoying. You already got the pick. Unless you're actually gonna like walk into them and look for a kill, which is very unlikely to happen there, then you shouldn't pop it.
30 seconds.
Hold out
Wait,
for a
so
spell
you
and
just
then
held
fight
off on this?
ours.
I thought it was a bug. I mean, he took the... Okay, because he took this perk, you can mirror. A lot of Orisa players like to take the shield. I mean, it's good in the mirror, but it depends on your DPS lineup. You have a ton of poke with your DPS, so I mean, you could take the mirror or you can take the shield. It'll probably screw this Orisa over a lot harder, but it's up to you. You don't have to take it. I don't like taking the shield because I think it makes me a lot slower, but up to you. It's a playstyle thing. But you should be picking a major. It's kind of crazy that you don't have one. Big mistake. Ah, you can turn this for your team, but because you pop your shift early, you're not going to get a kill. Actually, you might, but I think because you pop your shift so early, it's harder for you to commit on the Orisa because by the time it ends, she's going to be getting healed. Yep. She ends up getting healed. And if you didn't pop your shift immediately, you can just pressure them all the way out and they don't get a touch. Or if they do get a touch, this guy has to touch it and he dies for it. But because you pop your shift so early, they might be able to get a good touch off. Big mistake. Big mistake. You just lost. You gave up the point by doing that, by the way. The moment... I understand, like, you're looking to get the kill, and she's obviously out of position here, but you don't commit on that. Remember, your job as a tank is to hold down the front line for your team. You are giving up too much space by looking for that kill. Even if you do get the kill, it's a problem because you're giving this Orisa the space. And if this Orisa is smart, she will stuff you guys in here so that you can't walk out. And then your pick is meaningless. You have to factor these things in when you're tanking. Cause look at the map pressure they have now. You just gave up a point. And now you can't walk back anymore. Yeah, don't give up space for free. Don't do that. So I'm not hating on it though. Like I understand you're trying to kill the armor and she's out of position. I get it.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Our enemies have
Enemy turret sighted.
Hello there.
Okay, they're on OT. You can look to play for the Orisa. Only problem is, like I said, because you lost their objective, they build ults quicker than you. They have their ults ready before you guys do, which is a problem. If they decide to engage on you guys early, then it's bad. I mean, what you can do, if you want, you can force the engagement early on your end, just to force an ult out of them. But that's up to you. It's a macro play thing. If you think it's better for you to just get their ults out early and then engage with your ult next fight to secure the win, then you can do that. It's a playstyle macro thing. I would do it because I'm greedy, but you don't have to make that kind of play. You can play for your ult and just trade. I would have tried to like sit in front of the Bob and just tank for it a little bit. But I mean, you don't have to do that. You're in front of a freaking Mizuki ult, so you might not even be able to do that for that long. They burn everything. It's okay.
I don't understand.
It's a little problematic because they didn't pop the orisa ult, so you guys are going to be matching each other. But they're on OT, so they kind of have to stay on point. So obviously you're going to get more value out of your orisa ult just because of how OT works. So you just play for your ult, you should win this. Stop popping your shift so early. You're lucky you're building your ult here. If you did not have your ult coming up, this would be really, really bad. Also, other mistake, I think I would have held my ult all the way here. Mainly because your team is in a losing position. I don't know if you noticed it. Mainly because you kind of let the orisa take too much space, which was because you popped your shift too early. She just walks past you and starts looking for stuff. And that's fine because you're looking at her team, right? But you should have just held your ult all the way, so that if they try to contest this, they just explode for it. Because really, your team should not be dying here, but you know, things happen. She messed up. I'm not even sure how she C9'd it. Yeah, I don't know how this is C9'd it, I'm gonna be honest. But you should have held the all the way just for that. Because if she tries to touch her, then you would have probably like make her take way more damage. Now you're not in a winning position, but at least you try to get some more value out of your ulti. But who cares? They see it doesn't matter.
Ready.
I've read your report.
Okay, you haven't been here. You took the shield when attacking. I don't hate it. I don't really care for it, but it's not a bad one to take. I mean, looking at their comp, I guess it's kind of good because they're on Alari Emery, but the problem is they're on Sim. And Sim is going to be playing with the orisa, obviously, so she's going to look to melt you. But you have a Mei, so I guess it kind of evens out. Okay, you gotta hit that spear. That guy needed to die for that. That is a very crucial spear to hit. You cannot allow people to get away with a mistake like that. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on it too much though, because at least you tried to hit it, so there's nothing wrong with that. Because you saw that, you should take space immediately, which is what you end up doing, so that's good. But you shouldn't have shield. I would not have shield off the bat. Remember, you need to be actually using your abilities to take space. Like, you just see their team and you just pop it just because you see them. There needs to be a reason you're popping their shield other than because you see them. You need to be popping their shield because you want to actually get in. Not because you see enemies right in front of you. And you pop your shift too early here, which delays your push even more. Yeah, you see how using your abilities, you can really impact your push. Like, you only win this because your Mei got a really good wall off. That's the only reason. You're letting her beam you for free too much is kind of dangerous. I would have just popped the shield and killed her. I remember, all these little things matter You taking that damage is helping her build ult charge. You should have put a shield. You don't want Symmetra to get that wall in overtime. That's too dangerous.
Systems restored. Objective A captured.
I'm moving a payload.
I want to be looking to make a play here with your ult. Versus in a really bad position. I like this. It's just unfortunate because I think you needed to walk up a little bit more. I don't know if you're gonna kill with this. Okay, wow, that was very close. Nice kill. Best part, he wastes his Mizuki ult, so you should be able to win. Only thing is, it just sucks because I get it. You probably don't trust your team. I wouldn't trust my team in this scenario either. Like, you should be chasing the kills here, but I don't blame you for not doing it because I just know your team is probably gonna C9 if you don't sit with them. I don't blame you. I would put a shield on point though so that they don't take too much damage because they're farming ults off you guys sitting here like Why'd you throw your shield at? Why'd you throw your shield at him? Put your shield at the ground. They just end up turning because they have ult advantage in the last fight. So lucky. Like, you guys are not even ult advantage, just because they have a resort and OT. You guys burned too much to win that other fight, and you didn't take enough space after you won. But I can't blame you for that because your team needed to let you do that. But obviously, you're playing in Diamond. I wouldn't trust my teammates to actually let me do that, so I don't blame you. But yeah, your biggest mistakes, I definitely think, is just the cooldown management. Like, you are delaying your pushes a little bit because your cooldown management is a little off. Like, you need to be popping your abilities to actually get space, not just because you just want to walk up. You know, there has to be some actual intention behind it. I'm probably not explaining myself to it, but there always needs to be some kind of intention with your abilities when you're looking to do something in this game. Alright, then I'm gonna cut it here.